Yo, what's good everyone? Welcome back to ACS Sneakers. My name is Aidan. On today's video, we are taking a look at the Vans Simpson collaboration, and I hope you guys were feeling that little intro in the beginning. To my returning viewers, you are absolute legends. Thank you once again for continuing to support me on this journey. And to any new viewers, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, hitting that bell notification. We do release brand new content each and every week. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into the intro. Originally releasing on August 10th for a retail price of £70. And here we go guys, I now have the box in hand, and immediately this for me has to be my favourite collaborative shoebox of all time. If you guys can think of any other cool shoeboxes that have come as a result of a collaboration, drop me a comment in the comment section below. Before we do go any further, let's take a quick look at the shoebox. Starting out with the front, here we have the Simpsons house. On the side of the box, we have the power plant alongside the label. On the back of the shoebox, we have Lard Lad Donuts. And on the other side of the shoe, we have Moe's Tavern that this particular shoe has been based off. On top of the shoebox, we have the Simpsons branding alongside Vans. And at the bottom of the shoebox, we have the conversion chart. Now, for anyone like me that does generally buy a lot of shoes, you'll probably already know what your size is in US sizing as well as UK. But for people that don't generally buy a lot of shoes, this can actually be a very helpful touch. At least that way you know what size to get moving forward. Now, I personally don't buy a lot of Vans, so I can't actually compare this to another shoebox. So if you guys do buy a lot of Vans, drop me a comment as well and let me know if this is a regular feature on the shoebox. Taking a quick look at the label, which reads Old School, the Simpsons Moes in a UK size 9, US size 10. Another cool feature of the box itself is when we open this up, here we have the Simpsons couch. Inside the box we have some very cool tissue paper with the actual clouds that can actually be seen in the opening sequence of the show itself. So let's go ahead and get into the rest of my review. Starting out with the lateral side of the right shoe, here we have Homer and Barney. And on the lateral side of the left shoe, here we have Moe and best friends Lenny and Carl. Now this particular shoe from the Vans Simpson collaboration has actually been based off of Moe's Tavern. Vans have repurposed the iconic checkered print to match the stained glass of the tavern, just like what we actually see on the show itself. Actually feeling these characters underhand, it almost has a vinyl type of feel in my opinion, with some absolutely exquisite stitching around the characters themselves. As far as quality control for this particular shoe, I think it's absolutely incredible. We've reviewed a lot of shoes on this channel over the course of the last 3 months, and I'm really struggling to think of a shoe that actually has better quality control on the actual upper of the shoe. I think they've done an incredible job with the characters themselves. So if we now take a quick look at the medial side of the shoe, here we have the checkered print that we saw on the lateral side, and this time we have a pink stripe that runs right the way through the medial side of the shoe. Now, I personally don't really own a lot of Vans. I can't really think of a time I've actually owned a pair of Vans personally. So having consulted my partner on this particular shoe, she advises me that this is actually something that is featured on all Vans silhouettes. And once again, as far as the stitching on this shoe, absolutely incredible. I'm really struggling to find a stray bit of string or a little bit of fraying on the actual stitching itself. As far as I'm concerned, the stitching on this shoe is absolutely incredible, and it's actually quite eye-opening to see a shoe this well done, especially at the price point. I'm going to keep mentioning the price point because it is such an affordable shoe, but so far I'm really impressed with the quality on this particular model. And if we now take a quick look at the toe box on the shoe, here we have a super soft green suede material. Now, when I actually unboxed this shoe for the very first time off camera, I was actually caught off guard as to how good the suede is on this shoe. It is extremely soft and has a very premium feel in my opinion. If we now take a quick look at the chunky midsole, which is primarily white, just above this we have a green stripe that runs right the way around the midsole of the shoe. Switching to the outsole, we have a primarily gum rubber outsole. If you guys haven't already, please go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so you never miss a video. Let's get back into it. And if we now take a quick look at the laces on the shoe, they are completely yellow and are a direct nod to the characters on the show. Now, this is actually the only set of laces that you do get with the shoe itself, and it's going to definitely help this shoe stand out even more than what it already does. And now taking a look at the tongue on the shoe, here we have the same checkered print that can be seen on both the lateral and medial sides. Taking a look at the sock line of the shoe, here we have a super soft leather material. Now, I was really surprised by how cushioned and supportive the actual sock line of the shoe is. It is extremely comfortable on feet. If we now take a quick look at the insole of the shoe, we have the iconic blue sky and white clouds that you see in the opening sequence of the show, with the Simpsons branding, with the Vans branding just underneath. Taking a look at the heel of the shoe, here we have the Moes logo stamped across the heel on top of that green suede material. Just underneath this, we have the Vans off the wall branding just underneath to complete the look. Now that pretty much wraps up the overview of the shoe itself, so now let's go ahead and get into my opinions on the shoe. And now switching over to the most important aspect of any shoe, and that would be the shoe's comfortability. I was extremely surprised by how comfortable this shoe is right out the box. For me, it didn't require any breaking in time, and in terms of durability, my main concern is heel drag. Now, personally, I've never owned a pair of Vans before, but I've owned very similar plimsoll type of shoe. Specifically, I owned a Ralph Lauren pair of shoes a few years ago, and it only took a couple of wears before the actual reverse of the heel started to come away. I'm not sure how that is with Vans models, but that would be my initial concern as to whether or not the heel drag is going to be an issue. Now, I've not really had this shoe for long enough to be able to say if that's going to be an issue for this particular shoe. Perhaps that's something I could bring to you in an updated video at a later date. In terms of sizing, I did feel that this shoe ran a little bit large on me, so with that in mind, I would recommend going at least a half size down. Vans do generally sit around at most retailers, so with that in mind, I would highly recommend you trying out a pair before buying this particular shoe, just so you can understand the best fit for you. And in terms of my overall opinion on the shoe itself, I do give the Vans Simpson collaboration a solid 8 out of 10. There's so much to love about this shoe. The actual quality control of the shoe is incredible, the design is impeccable, and it just takes me back to when I was 10 years old and completely obsessed with the Simpsons hit and run game. If you guys can remember it, drop me a comment in the comment section below. It was an absolutely amazing game and pretty much summarizes my childhood. And this shoe definitely makes me feel that nostalgic feeling, and sometimes it's just nice to have a shoe that takes you back to another time or place. And this shoe for me is just absolutely incredible. This isn't going to be a shoe for everyone. It's not going to be something that everybody likes. But for me, it's a very diverse shoe that can be worn with whatever I feel like at the time. And it's just going to look pretty good with any outfit. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at the shoe in more detail. And now I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who stuck around to this point in the video. Please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, hitting that bell notification, and I hope to see you again in the next one.